Hey everyone, Joe here, and today's special guest is someone who kicks my butt up and down the supernatural ladder. That's right, we got none other than I almost called you MVD because in my head, the whole RVD thing. That's what I keep doing one of those. Mary Van Dorn from SugarMamaStrong.com. How you
Yes.
doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am amazing. Thank you for asking, and thanks for coming on the podcast. I have to say, you are inspirational more than one way,
Thank you.
and I know, right? And it's not just like the actual story of it all, right? It's gonna be the breakdown of your lineage from where you started, what, 2 years ago? Last year?
Like my wellness journey as a whole,
Yeah.
or
Yes.
it's been a good 12 years of that.
12 years, oh my god, 12 years.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's where we start. 12 years.
Okay. Yeah.
Break it into me.
So at that time, my daughter was 2, my son was 7, and I couldn't hang with my kids. I remember, like, I couldn't keep up with them.
Right.
And I remember my daughter was at that age where she just wanted to like run away from me. And we were in a parking lot and I got her out of the car and she started to take off. And I was so scared I wasn't going to get to her before something really bad happened. I did, thank goodness. I probably ripped her arm off,
Come back here.
and I flipped out. But inside, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to protect her. Right. And I was like, I can't run a block, in my shape. And I wanted to be the mom that played with her kids, not just watched her kids play.
Right.
And that's kind of the catalyst for everything that I do is being around for them. And now, I have grandbabies that I want to keep up with. That's crazy. I know. I'm way too
Okay.
young to have
I
grandbabies.
know, I was like, one of us looks really good for their age, and the other one is me.
Well, thank you.
Oh, yeah, So, but that's exactly it. You want to do your health journey because you've got kids. You need to be around for the kids. You need to be able to play with, not just like watch life go through them, right?
Yeah.
And that is a pretty decent wake up moment. So, was it startling to go, "Oh my gosh, what do I do first?"
For me, I've been dieting my whole life.
Right.
I've always been I think I went on my first diet when I was 15. I've always been the biggest in my group of friends, so it's always been something that I was very aware of, and I grew up with a mom who was in the same boat as me, so then we kind of did
Okay.
it together, which, each other's biggest supporters, but also equally good at sabotaging each other. So, for me, the exercise part always came easier than the food part.
Which
And
is
so I
the
started with that. And I quickly found things that I loved, which is something I never thought I would say. But I started with Zumba, then I started running. I've done, half marathons at this point. I remember the first big thing that I tried that I signed up for was a triathlon. I went from doing nothing
yeah.
to signing up for a triathlon. I was 215 pounds at the time. And I remember people saying, like, "Why would you do that?" I'm like, "Why not?" Right?
I'm saying it now. Why would you do that?
And I did it. And my only goal was to finish and not be last. And check, check. I did that. I'll never do it again. I thought I was going to die. But for me, that the activity has always come easier. It was the food part that I struggled with. And I still struggle, even here in maintenance now. But for me, honestly, the not knowing where to start, you just have to pick one thing
Yeah.
and just decide this is the one thing. And then when I get this one thing, I'll tackle the next thing and
Move
then the
on,
next
right?
thing. And then eventually all the things are working together and you're like, okay, this is the new normal.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. That's what what Arnold would say. What would this look like if it was easy?
Yeah.
You pick that one thing, and then pretty soon you're like, "Oh, my house is clean."
Mhm.
I just started, like, dusting off the little thing, and it keeps going on that way.
Yeah.
And I think because we're both competitive,
Mm.
like, ultrally so,
Yeah.
the athletic part is almost like, "Yeah, this is something triathlon. Okay, not last, check mark."
Right.
All these things we can do athletically, and then the food is, the kitchen, right? It's always the
Yeah.
kitchen. That's the hardest part sometimes.
Yeah.
And you said you have the best thing is you're doing it a bit with your family, but it's also great competition and great a little bit of like, "Hey, let's have a cake."
Right.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, and, without getting too much into, like, my childhood issues, my mom battled the same thing her entire life, and when
Right.
she passed away, she was still battling it at 76 years old. Still worried about, what the scale said and what size her pants were and, how many grams of this did she have, and I don't wanna be 76 years old trying to shrink my body. Like, I had to figure out, number 1, how I got to where I was,
Right.
and to really dig into the mental stuff, which I think is what a lot of people on their wellness path ignore because they think it's diet and exercise. All I have to do is diet and exercise, count my calories, move my body, because that's what we hear all the time. But I'm telling you, if you don't figure out why you do the things that you do, why you quit on yourself, why you are an emotional eater, why you bury your feelings in Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Like, if you don't figure that out, dude, I used to watch The Biggest Loser eating a pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Okay.
It was $2.50 when it came out. It's not my
Okay,
fault either.
okay, but
Yeah.
we see the issue here is that
Yes.
I would be like, "Oh my gosh, this is so emotional.
Well
This is
well,
really triggering something in me watching these people change their life no matter how toxic that show was." You were seeing people do it in a massively unhealthy way, but anyway, and that's
wait,
how I
wait,
would
wait.
medicate it.
That's massively unhealthy to lose as much weight as humanly possible or not possible, depending, and no actual follow-up plan whatsoever while you're doing it on
Well, no
camera?
follow-up plan, dehydrated when they get on the scale,
Completely
like,
dehydration.
oh my gosh, horrible. But I didn't know at the time, like, how bad it was until I started educating myself. I just saw the transformation, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, that's what sells.
Exactly, exactly. But man, until I added the self-care mindset component to my diet and exercise, I was like this.
And
I would
that's good.
lose, and then I would gain, and then I would lose.
Yeah.
But until once I started that, like, mindset work, that what do they call it? Professional development, the self-help books that
Work
I thought
on
were so
you.
stupid. It makes a big difference.
It does, because I am one of those people, well, I will have food paralysis. You probably know what this is. You look at the label so long, you're like, "Do I buy this? Do I not buy this?" 20 minutes later, you're still like, "Okay, it's got 3 grams of fat." And then half hour the store's closing, like, you still got the same box in your hand going, "Okay, hold on. If I do like, oh, I bought nothing today. What's wrong?" You know,
It's like an obsession, I feel like. You get so hung up on the little things
little
that
details. Yeah.
you it's analysis paralysis,
Yes,
right? That's what they call it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and then you discover the wellness portion of it, that the actual wellness
Yeah.
of it, and that unlocks it, and I think the wellness portion is missed. Well, okay, Tony Horton, yes, pushes the wellness
Mhm.
1,000%, and probably Sean T as well, and a lot of programs miss the wellness. It's almost like a shame system. What you did wrong today.
Right. I mean, okay, so my diet of choice growing up, starting at 18 with my mom, was Weight Watchers. And for any Weight Watchers listening, no offense, this is just my experience.
Right. That's my sponsor today, by the way. Thanks.
Is it really? Shut up.
Sponsored by Weight Watchers. No.
Okay, so I probably have joined Weight Watchers 15 times. in my life because I would join and then I would quit. Because what you do is you join and you're like really good for 3 weeks and then you gain 5 pounds one week and you're like, F that, I'm not going back. And so once I started really exercising, I mean, there was a point where I was teaching 6 fitness classes a week, plus running and training for races and doing all this stuff. And then I would still be at Weight Watchers because I was the plus size instructor everywhere I went.
Right.
And they would be like, you earned 57 exercise points. So I would get all these extra points for exercising. So I'd be like, cool, 3 Krispy Kreme donuts is 15 points. So am I really learning anything? Not really. And second, it was like, I just talked to my group about this the other day. Like, you get in there and you step on the scale and they give you a star, like a sticker. If you lose weight, like if you lose 5 pounds, you get a little sticker. I'm like, this is such a, I don't know if they still do that. I just when I went there, but it was like, so, I don't know, like, good job. Look, I don't know. It
Well,
just,
it keeps it going. It's the Las Vegas casinos we have in our pockets with the phones as a notification, ding, 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 ding.
yeah,
Good job, good job, good job, and it's those things, and they had their own food brand, right? If
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember correctly, it was like a whole system that
I
they
mean, well, you didn't
put together,
have to use their food, but
but
they had that available to like oatmeal and snack bars and things like that.
they never really touched what's actually the root problem. It's basically United States healthcare 101. It's
Yeah.
like, "We won't actually tell you what happens, the reasons why these are happening, but here's this.
Yeah.
Go for it." Yeah, and this leads you into more of a wellness journey, and
Yes.
then what about Sugar Mama Strong? When did that
So,
SMS?
this is a great story and also my favorite topic. So,
Hey,
if we run out of time, let me know. So, Sugar Mama Strong actually was born from my Beachbody coaching education, I should say.
okay.
Totally by accident. When you are part of a multi-level marketing company, they tell you to find your people, right? Find the people that you want to help. And so I signed up for this training. And one of the first things they made us do was to write down everything about yourself that you could possibly have in common with other people. So for me, it was like lost 100 pounds, divorced. I mean, I'm
I got
remarried now,
hair, I
but
got eyes.
right, type 2 diabetes, fitness instructor. I listed all these things. And then it was like, okay, now who do you want to help? And so it was like looking where where do I want to focus my energy and really help people? What do I need in my life?
Right.
Right? And I was like, I am going to start. So I had already joined, like, backtrack, on Facebook, a bunch of diabetes groups, as we do, right? Just like Supernatural, right? You
All
join
of
all
them.
the little
Yeah.
groups. I had joined like 5 or 6 diabetes groups, and everyone was so mean. They were so mean to each other. Like, I remember, like, someone posted for I don't know if it was me. I don't know, Taco Tuesday, right? They had a tortilla, and you would have thought that they just murdered someone on the street. The way that the comments were like, "You ate a tortilla," like it was they were calling the food police, and I was like, "This is not for me." Like,
No.
I'm hard on myself already. I don't need
Right.
strangers behind their keyboard, like, yelling at me for what I ate. I'm never gonna post in this group, right?
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create my own support group where people leave happier than when they got there, more supported than when they got there, less confused than when they got there. And that is how Sugar Mama Strong started, was because I couldn't find the support that I wanted out there. And I made it women only because I think I do have a men's group, by the way. I don't think we've ever talked about that. But so Sugar Mama Strong, we're about 5,400 women now. And every day I post a little funny meme and everyone shares their numbers because when I started it 9 years ago, that's crazy. One of the things that I wasn't doing was checking my blood sugar as much as I should. So I decided, well, if I'm not doing that, probably other people aren't doing that. So let's, make a post every day to encourage people to do that. And 9 years later, I'm running out of memes. So, if you ever have any, send them my way so I can use them.
Well, I'm looking at my meme pile, I'm like, "Maybe we'll save these for a little bit later." Yeah, but that's exactly it. We've all been in those groups where it's kinda, like, just negative. I'm like, "Why are we here just to trash on each other?" Like, that's
Yeah,
not where and so you doing Sugar Mama Strong on Facebook and sugarmamastrong.com,
mhm,
that is, not to reuse a phrase that's been killed off, you are making the change in the world that you wanted to see. You are
yeah.
that change, and I have to say just by our regular Facebook supernatural whatevers, you are pretty darn positive.
I
You're
try to
happy,
be.
you share, you voice people up, you put them up, right? And that's amazing to see. It really is, especially in the fitness or health community. My gosh,
Yeah.
it's almost
There's a
unheard
lot
of.
of judgment out there,
Ton,
especially as social media takes over our whole life.
right?
People feel like they can say anything with no consequence. And so, we have all experienced some sort of hate on social media. And so I try
Yeah.
to be a positive light in that realm.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing is because there actually was a year or 2 after the pandemic happened, there was a social media platform that was like, "We're the positive one." It did not last.
Mm,
It was like, "We're out of beta. We're closed." I'm like, "Oh god."
yeah.
No one wanted to be positive, I guess. That's horrible. But with Sugar Mama Strong, you are backing your action with actually backing your words with your actions, right? And you've been there, so you can help people who are there too, and
I'm
if
still there.
and
I mean,
that's the
yeah.
amazing thing, right?
Well,
This is proof
especially,
positive.
so Sugar Mama Strong has women from all walks of life. I think we range in ages from probably 20 something to 80. I mean, over decades. And type 1, type 2, adult onset type 1, gestational pre-diabetes. We have caretakers, spouses, a wide variety of people who are always asking questions, responding with support and kindness. And I have like a no strike policy. Like you don't get a warning. If you're a jerk, then you get the boot. And that's it. Cause I don't do that. But I'm still there. Even though my weight has changed and over the last 9 years I'm at my goal weight now. I never thought I would say that. But the diabetes part is still there. I
Right,
still have high numbers sometimes. I still struggle with lows and highs and all of that. And, just because the weight has changed, I know a lot of people think all you have to do is lose weight and your diabetes will go away.
forever.
No,
Look,
I'm still here, still
yeah,
on meds. So,
that's an important part. That honestly is an important part because diabetes can almost be seen as like the internal if you don't have the external symptoms that we all recognize the weight gain.
right,
If you don't have that, like, "Oh, you got diabetes. What are you talking about? It must
right.
be
You're not
cured."
sick. You
Yeah,
don't look sick.
that's the exact you don't look sick.
Yeah,
Why are you feeling this? Why are you low energy? You
yeah,
look good. You
yeah,
look healthy. Exactly. No one actually believes it, right?
right,
And to have a support group for people, and especially like spouses or caregivers or someone who's in their family who wants to support and might not know how.
right.
I think that's an essential service that you're providing on Sugar Mama Strong, right?
Yeah.
Now, has there, and you can just skip the question, has there ever been a time where you read someone's story and you're just like, oh God, like just started not crying, but you're like, either tears of, "I thank God this person's reaching out," or just, like, emotionally need to be cleansed.
Yes to both.
Yeah, Sarah.
There have been stories of women who have told me that the group has saved their life, that they were killing themselves slowly every day by ignoring their health and by, kind of putting their head in the sand, and that the positivity and support and kind of sisterhood feel that we have in the group kind of brought them back to themselves. And it's impossible to read stories like that and not be moved by that. I've also read stories, nightmare stories about side effects, about complications, about, amputations or vision loss or dialysis. I mean, it's real talk in there, and
Yeah.
it can be overwhelming when you're not ready to hear that information, but we're not here to sugarcoat it, pun intended. But at the same time, I don't believe in scare tactics, so that's kind of a tough balancing act in the group because that never worked for me. Well, aren't you afraid of going blind? Well, that's not gonna make me eat better.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it had to be something meaningful for me, And so that part never worked, but then some people will respond to posts where it's like, my blood sugars are high and I'm scared, but I can't get motivated or whatever. And someone will post a picture of them with their amputated leg and be like, you better take care of yourself.
like, "Oh, I'm gonna work out today. Yes."
Like, to me, that's not it.
They're like, "Oh."
That is not. And so I remember making a post saying, when someone comes here venting and sharing and bearing their soul
Yeah.
about this management, they're not asking for advice. They just want someone to say, "I see you.
Yes.
I get it." And
Absolutely.
so, where I wouldn't call us, like, there are plenty of groups for certain diets or, low carb diabetes or keto this or whatever. My group is diabetes support, period. I don't care how you're eating. We're gonna support you. It's not a your way is better than my way is better than your way, or you do it without meds and you take insulin. Like, we all need support. We all need to be lifted up because this shit is hard.
Yeah, and there's several things here, like, 1, if you ever seen the cigarette packages in most countries, they already have the warnings on them,
Mm,
but people still smoke. Imagine that. And
right.
food is, like, it's either gonna be addictive in sugar-wise or addiction to caffeine
Mhm.
or emotionally eating.
Right.
It doesn't matter what warning labels you put on there, there's still a root cause that's having you drive to eat, so
Exactly. Exactly.
all the
Yep.
warnings that can help, yeah, I agree. Now, I am just because I'm curious,
Mhm.
how did you find supernatural fitness? Like, did you like it's one of those random things got VR one day and
So my daughter bought our headset, our first headset, our Quest 2, with her bat mitzvah money when she was, I don't know, so like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. And we were playing Beat Saber the first day,
right.
as everyone does,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I was like so uncoordinated. I was like, I can't do this. And then the next day, we were in the living room. I put on the headset, and I think it was like in the menu, maybe like in the headset,
Yeah.
like as an
The little
ad, or I don't
advert,
know.
yeah.
I was like, what's this? And I did the little trial thing, and I was like, this is fun. And I think I signed up that day. And for about the last year and a half, I've been the only one using the headset. I actually upgraded. My daughter does use it now. She
My headset.
is also doing Supernatural,
Cool.
so that's fun, and she's competitive with her mom, so
Oh, great. 2 people in your family can beat my
yeah,
pants at Supernatural now.
yeah.
Awesome. But that's exactly it. Now, do you bring that in? I know you're heavy on the supernatural groups, and, it's a great source of motivation because 'cause I'm like, "Man, I'm a slacker today." But in a good because I'm
Yeah.
competitive in a good way, right? Do you bring that into Sugar Mama Strong and kinda merge them, or is just always separate?
So, because I talk about it so much, there's about 9 of us now in Sugar Mama Strong in the wellness group that have Supernatural, and so we have, like, a separate little chat where we'll talk about workouts or we'll schedule a meetup, to get in the headset together, and yeah, so I don't as much integrate it as have it as, like, a separate little bonus.
Happy accidents.
Yeah.
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 Very cool. Now, are you still training? I mean, are you still a trainer, I should say? My
Yes. Yeah.
What do you do if you're training now?
So, I used to, like I mentioned, teach fitness classes at the gym. Everything from senior aerobics to step to water aerobics, Zumba, all the kind of group exercise classes. And I was also doing beach body coaching, right?
What was your favorite program? Do you remember?
Size.
Oh, yeah, Shanti,
Because
yeah.
it's dance. I love him. Anyway, so as when I was beach body coaching,
Right, right.
Sugar Mama Strong, the support group was growing. And what I realized very quickly was that the Beachbody offerings did not really meet the needs of my growing community because the women in the support group, they're not doing, P90X and T25 and all these crazy, like, they're not
21
doing that.
day, yeah.
And so I decided, well, it took about a good year of going back and forth in my brain. Are you gonna do it? Are you not gonna do it? Gonna do it. And I decided to take my diabetes education experience, my fitness certifications, my weight loss experience, take all of that, and instead of putting it into the gym and beach body coaching, I launched Sugar Mama Strong the Sisterhood, which is my wellness program. We do nutrition support. I do coaching calls every week
Wow.
on Zoom, and I lead live workouts. So, how are my workouts different than what you can get on Beachbody? Because I know you're going to ask. Mine include seated modifications for everything.
Nice.
So, I always tell them you might not be able to do everything, but everyone can do something. And so, it's very disheartening, especially as a beginner when it comes to exercise, to look at the instructor at the gym or on your screen and be like, "I can't do that."
Professional fitness models.
Like, well, that and they're doing movements like I remember taking a group exercise combat class or something, and I was in the back of the room. It was the beginning of my story, and they were doing like burpees. Like by the time they were done with 5, I was like doing 1. Like I
Yeah,
could barely get up off the floor. And so, did I ever go back to that class? Absolutely not. Because no one said, "Hey, you can't do a full burpee. Try it this way."
modify.
Nobody told me that. And so that's one of my favorite things about what we've created in the sisterhood is that everyone can do one of my workouts. One of my members years ago was a double amputee, and she showed up every Saturday morning to work out with me. And she'd be like, "I can do this."
That's
And that's
amazing.
what it's about, feeling empowered and knowing that you can make a difference in your life.
And not only are you making sure they know they can make a difference in their lives, but you're then passing on that positivity to them and they will pass it on to other people.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a great web effect. And I'm so glad you brought up the modifications. A lot of the programs, especially the pre-can ones like Beachbody, like their modifier is still a fitness model. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. Like, what are we doing here?
Well, or their modifier is still jumping
Yeah.
or they're still on the floor. Like, not everybody, especially as we're aging and with diabetes, neuropathy, balance issues, all of those things that the world at large doesn't really think about because they're not experiencing it. And so, I just led 2 weeks ago, I led a lower body workout completely seated. And people will be like, "Well, how do you work your lower body if you're sitting on your butt?" Guess what? You can. And one of the comments after the workout was, "This helps so much because my balance is terrible." And you're sitting.
And it's
Yeah.
gotta be brilliant. I was thinking when you're saying like, I wanna do that because my back is shot right now. If I can
Yeah.
still work my lower body and not have to, like, bulge my disc out, my
Yeah.
god, I'm there. I'm absolutely there. It's that goes with your experience. You start off at one and the trajectory is amazing because you took your risk on you. You bet on you when you're like, "I can do Beachbody or I can do Sugar Mama Strong and start this as a real thing."
Yeah.
You bet on you, and I love when people bet on themselves and it wins, it's a great journey.
Yeah.
So what is your next step? What's next? Always, right? What's next?
I always wanna grow both groups, the sisterhood and the support community. By the way, guys, if you're a man with diabetes and you're listening, my guys group is called Dudes with Diabetes because
I like it.
I like a good name.
Yeah.
It's funny, both groups, the women's group has, I think, 5,400. The men's group, maybe 100 and something. Nobody talks in the men's
Really.
group. The women's group is always going, always new posts. The men's group, nothing.
We're taught not to
I,
ever talk everything.
yeah. I mean, once in a while, there'll be a good conversation, but much quieter. What's next? I have my podcast now that started in March.
Woohoo.
Sick of Pricks. Find it on your favorite podcast platform.
There you go.
And that's really focused on life with type 2. And, there's a lot of doctors, insurance companies, dietitians that have podcasts out there, right? But not a whole lot about actually living with it. And so that's kind of what I wanted to bring to the masses, so to speak. So it's been fun starting that. And I'm in the middle of writing a book.
Okay. I love your titles so far. I love the
Yes,
titles for your support groups. I love the title for I love Sick with Pricks. Do you have a title for your book yet?
I do.
You want to share it? You don't have to.
Sure.
Okay, what
Sure.
is it?
It's called This Wasn't in the Pamphlet.
Damn. See, I need that out of my stuff, I think.
Because that's what happens when you are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. They legit hand you a pamphlet. And they're like, see you in 3 months. Here's your metformin prescription. And there's so much more. You walk out of there. I cried when I got my diagnosis. I was 21 years old,
Oh,
getting ready to get married. And I thought, oh my gosh, he's marrying a sick person for the rest. I mean, it wasn't for the rest of his life, but at the time it was for the rest of
right.
his life.
Absolutely. Always.
And I felt so guilty and so like ashamed. And how did I let myself get this way? I'm so young. I'm supposed to be carefree. And now I
Yeah.
have a disease. Like it's emotional.
I bet.
And nothing in the pamphlet tells you how to deal with that. And so that is what the book is about.
Yeah, no. What you mean you didn't get to panel 6, a small drawing about how to deal with your new condition?
No.
Condition and you, panel 6, this one. Yeah, that's amazing things. You're right. It's the not just the US system, like the last system, like here's your pamphlet. And that's
Yeah.
what it is. It's an honest to God pamphlet.
Mhm.
It's like it could be on a flyer for your car. I'm like, oh, is this a new band coming out? Like, no, it's how to live with diabetes. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So your book is in the works. Your
it is.
podcast is on all great podcasting platforms,
Yes.
right? Is there anything you wanna try that you haven't started yet?
Do you wanna know the dream? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
big
yeah.
dream?
Yeah, yeah.
And the only reason I haven't done anything is because I have no idea where to even start. So anyone listening, if you have a clue, just, let me know. You know how do you know what the La Leche League is?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Really?
So you know how they have, like, chapters in every hospital where they have, like, in-person support meetings? I would love and it doesn't have to be called Sugar Mama Strong because obviously I would wanna include everyone if it was in person,
Yeah.
but I would love to have a presence in hospitals all over the country.
I think that'll be amazing,
Yeah,
honestly. I think that level of support is sorely missing,
for sure.
and I think it's a hell of a lot better than pamphlet, right?
Well, and I think, like, right now, even my endocrinologist office has, like, a monthly support group or something, but it's doctor-led or nurse-led or whatever. I want it to be peer-led,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
people living it.
And that's the difference between like, "Oh, you have all the education, you can talk about this from a
Mm,
textbook's point of view," versus, "Yeah, that's not my day, though."
right.
Like, this is my everyday. What you're talking about is you never lived through it. It's a disconnect.
Mhm.
There's always gonna be that disconnect. That is quite inspiring. That's an amazing, and I hope someone gives you a great advice on this. I'm like, I got nothing in my brain right now, but that is the end goal, or
Yeah.
just one more step towards it, really.
Yeah. I
There's
don't
always
really
another
know.
continuation, right?
Yeah.
Now, I ask this of all my guests. What is your mother's maiden name and your no, 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 sorry. Everyone thinks it's a joke, but
I was
someone actually
like,
started I had to cut that out once because someone actually started saying it. I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 really, no, stop." What advice would you give? When I say younger, I mean like teens,
okay.
younger version of you.
Mhm.
What advice would you give now?
The younger version of me. That's so hard. I would say you can cut out this dead space.
Oh, no, 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 no. I want people to understand this is not and it should not be an easy answer. Should not be an easy answer. Think of all the things you went through. Would you even tell your younger version anything?
I'm gonna share my stream of thoughts right
Sure.
now. I think I used to hate when people would say everything happens for a reason because when you're in it, you're like, screw that. This sucks. Like, what could possibly be the reason?
God hates you, that's
Heartbreak
crazy.
or grief or loss. Like, you know, w- tell me the reason. I don't get it. But at the same time, I think that every event in your life leads you to exactly where you're supposed to be. And so, would I change anything? No, but I would tell her to value herself more and not to settle for things that make her feel less than.
That's classic.
Whether it's coming from me, like whether it's coming from yourself because we are meanest to ourselves,
Yep.
or whether it's coming from other people. But when you don't love yourself, you are willing to accept a whole lot more from other people. And so I think that's what I would tell her. Save your tears because those people who try to shrink you or make you feel less than, it's really not their opinions that you need to value. It's you, right? It's
Absolutely.
what you think of yourself that ultimately determines if you're going to succeed or not.
Yep.
Because if I went into Sugar Mama Strong or the Sisterhood thinking this is never going to work,
It
guess
won't.
what? It's not going to work.
No, absolutely.
You have to be your biggest fan.
You do, and this actually something that MVD star or shares of RVD is always the absolute belief that you're gonna win.
Yeah.
Because you have to. Everyone else says you're gonna fail. You have to be the one that says, "No, we're doing this."
Yeah, and there's people who are waiting for you to fail.
Absolutely, and don't be one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Don't
Don't be
be
one of
one
them.
that yeah. And I think it's really easy when you're on a weight loss journey or diabetes management or health any kind of health, right? And you're changing your life and you're doing it in a really public way. People are going to have something to say. They're going to have something to say when you do it. They're going to have something to say when you gain 20 pounds back. They're going to have something to say when you have to go on medicine or whatever. And ultimately, you have to put your blinders on and focus on what works for you because at the end of the day, you have to be able to sleep at night feeling peaceful about your decisions.
That's really it. At the end of the day, it's just you,
Yeah.
and that's lovely. Now, Mary Van Dorn, we can
Yes.
find you at sugarmamastrong.com and on Facebooks
Yes.
with the Sugar Mama group,
Mhm.
and what other groups and your podcast is gonna be on podcast everywhere.
Yes.
Sick of Pricks
YouTube
and
also. Yep.
YouTube. What's your YouTube channel? Stick of Pricks, or is it
Yep.
gonna be okay,
Yep.
there you go. What's your any other socials you got? Wanna put
SMS Diabetes Support on Instagram, Sugar Mama Strong on TikTok, Sick of Pricks Podcast on TikTok. I'm everywhere.
everywhere, and if you ever wanna see me cry, look at the leaderboard for Supernatural. I'm like, "How did you get in, like, 20,000 points? It's
Listen, I'm not
Monday
even
morning."
first on my leaderboard. I'm like 15th on my leaderboard. These
I
people are
I've
crazy.
I've seen the screenshot, and I'm pretty sure, like, "Oh, that guy doesn't exist, does it? That guy's AI. It's gotta be AI just doing it." Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been really fun chatting with you. And for a few people who liked and subscribed already, good job. And you must go to Sugar Mama Strong. Don't go to sugarmama.com.
Yep,
Have
don't
her
do that.
Here's her website,
I've gotten messages. They're like, "I did something wrong." I'm like, "Yes, you did."
sugarmamastrong.com, and all the socials. For my by half of myself, Joe and Mary, we're saying goodbye. Bye, everyone.